was very interesting today, wasn't it, to see Rishi Sunak, the new chancellor, come out with a budget that was almost socialist in essence. We're going to cut this, they're going to cut that, they're going to cut the duty tax on alcohol, they're going to cut the tampon tax, they're going to cut all this, they're going to do this, they're going to do that, and it's being framed as a better budget for the people. Well, the question I have is better than what? Better than the last however many budgets we've had since the Tories came to power? Is that what you mean? Better than those budgets, because they were, by implication, they were bad for the people. So it's being hailed by the media as better for the working people, better for the average person than the last budgets, which were probably the Tories, in the Tories' minds, justifiable because of austerity, because of the mess that the last Labour government left them in, even though it wasn't the last Labour government. The last Labour government had many, many faults, many areas in which you could criticise them, but they did not cause the worldwide economic collapse. That was the banks. This has been definitively proven. It was the banks that caused the collapse, not the last Labour government. So this new budget, where he reckons he's going to cut this tax, he's going to cut that tax, he's going to cut this, it's very socialist, isn't it? Very, almost a Labour Party budget, and they've been doing this since the election, since they got into power. They've been ripping off policies from the Labour Party to try and reinvent themselves as this nice guy party, the nice Tory party, you know. So I think if you have to apply the word nice before the name of your party, it says a lot about your party by nature. But they've been trying to reinvent themselves because they know that in 2017 Jeremy Corbyn came within 2,000 votes of becoming Prime Minister. We came within 2,000 votes of getting a proper Labour socialist government in place. 2,000 votes, that was all. And I honestly think if most of the people who didn't bother to vote, who don't bother to vote generally, if they'd got off their asses and voted for Labour, we would have been 3 years deep in a Labour government by now. But that didn't happen, and they know that, but they know how close it was, so they're shit scared. They're still scared of Corbyn. The man is leaving the party. The man is leaving, not leaving the party, leaving the leadership of the party, and they're still scared of him because they know that if someone like Rebecca Long-Bailey or somebody with equal values to Jeremy Corbyn gets in to the Labour leadership post, they've had it. They've had it because Jeremy Corbyn's policies, the socialist policies that he was putting out, were very popular in this country. They are mainstream policies. They're implicated across Europe. They're actually mainstream policies in France and Denmark and Sweden. So they know that these policies are popular. They know that they're quite common in other countries in Europe. And they just do not want to see that. They want more for themselves, less for everybody else, more tax cuts and subsidies for their corporate mates, and less for the poor man. This is why they dole out these policies when they want to appease the working classes. Well, it's not, for me, it's not going to wash. This budget is good. It's a good budget, but it's not being rolled out for benign reasons, for benevolent reasons. It's being rolled out for selfish reasons because they want to continue their hold on power. So it was very interesting to see an almost socialist budget being rolled out by this new chancellor. And even more interesting was seeing people like Katie Hopkins and far right hate preachers praising this budget. You're praising a socialist budget. You're praising a budget that is actually could very well have been put in place by the Labour Party. And this is what they're doing. They're trying to reinvent themselves as the new Labour Party. They want to smear the current Labour Party as anti-Semitic, as out of touch, divisive, middle-class snobs, which by and large, in a middle-class snob thing, they're probably not wrong, but they want to smear the party as out of touch, out of whack, backwards, and they want to reinvent themselves as the new Socialist Party, so nobody votes for Labour anymore. And then once they get back in power again, because they know that next election, the Brexit factor will be gone. I wholeheartedly believe that if there was no Brexit factor playing in the last election, we would be in the Labour government by now. They would have won the election. It was Brexit that brought down Jeremy Corbyn. It was not Jeremy Corbyn that brought down the Labour Party. It was Brexit. It was Brexit that caused their battering at the polls. And James O'Brien, who I normally listen to his show quite regularly. I don't agree with him on Europe, but I have a sort of a begrudging respect for him. But he put out a tweet earlier where he said, "Oh, I can't see it." It takes a stroke of genius to figure out why this budget would be the manifestation of fear from the Tories of a man that they battered at the polling box, at the polling booth. And I said, well, I applied to him, and I said, well, it was the fact that he came within 2,000 votes of power. They know that, they're afraid of that. Ever since that, actually, they've been trying to reinvent themselves as the not nasty Tory party, the nice Tory party. So it was very interesting to see this transformation of the Conservatives since 2017, and especially now Boris Johnson is in charge, because he likes to be seen as the people's Prime Minister. He's not the people's Prime Minister, that's just his image. He is the Prime Minister of the rich, the Prime Minister of corporate bosses, the Prime Minister of bailouts. He is a Tory Prime Minister in human form. He is the epitome of Tory, but he likes to present himself as this lovable, gruff, bumbling character because he doesn't talk with a posh accent. Have you noticed Jacob Rees-Mogg has pretty much been out of the forefront of Tory politics since Boris Johnson came to power? Have you noticed that? He wants to get that posh snobbiness out of the forefront of his party and get it out of the public image of his party and reinvent his party as some kind of working class man's party. It is not. The Tories don't care about you. The only reason they're rolling out this socialist budget is because they want you to think that they do. So don't fall for it. Next election, if there is a strong socialist party, be that Labour, be that anybody else, that is where my vote is going, because I will never, ever, ever forgive the Tories for the last 10 years in which over 140,000 people have died as a result of their choice to implement austerity. Yes, cuts needed to be made, but they could have been made from the rich. Just remember that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.